Hey everybody, Skywarlink here. Welcome back to another episode of Final Fantasy XII: The Zodiac Age. Last time I almost said yesterday for like the millionth time. I know. Sorry. Animal Crossing. I think I've mentioned this excuse. I need to stop me coming up with the same excuses for my faulty intros. Let's just say I'm bad at intros. That's all. Anyway, last time we went out into the Ester Sand to go kill that rogue tomato, which we did, and we also did a little bit of exploring, getting ourselves some items that are worth selling, and we even got ourselves all the way to level 4. Today, or jeez Louise, again with the today, yesterday, all that stuff, I need to get out of that, you know. Anyway, this time, we see that there's a little bit of a commotion going on amongst the group. What's going on? So just as they're finishing their inspection, what do I see but the gates closing before my very eyes? A wee bit dodgy, wouldn't you say? That is a wee bit dodgy. Alright, they wouldn't let me through. Nothing to do now but wait till the ceremonies are over. A ceremony, huh? Hey, it's kites! Ah, Vaughn. Guess I'm not the only one who got locked out of the city. I told Penella about the mark you were going after, and I guess I got her worrying, so the two of us headed out here to find you. As soon as I stepped out, the guards closed the gates and things got crazy. Haven't been able to find her since.
Stand back there! Back! This gate's closed until the ceremony's over, do you hear?
Now what?
Open the gate! Alright, out the way.
Wait a second. How come you let these chocobos through the gate and not us?
What of it? This here's a pedigreed parader, boy. Cost tens of thousands of gil, this one did. A prettier price than 100 of you provincials would fetch. Keep your distance. We don't want the chocobo sticking a peasant.
What'd you say?
Step aside. Right then, move them in.
Well... that does it.
Oh, a fine chocobo you have there. Yes, cedar down stock if I'm not mistaken. Change the soil, change the chocobo, am I right? Yes, different soil means different bouquet too. Take a Dalmascan Barrow's wine, it may lack the flavor and depth of some of your Arcadian wines, but it has a certain strength of character. It's not bad, really, once you get used to it. Care for some, sirs? There's more than enough for all to cool their throats, of course.
You let these carts through them and close this gate as ordered. My mail's choked with this sand.
Don't give me a scare like that. You're lucky that ended where it did.
Right. Now's our chance to go through.
The ceremony will be starting soon. I'd best be hurrying.
Okay, well... Vaughn, wait! What is it? Vaughn!
We will have order. I give you your new Consul, His Imperial Highness Lord Vane Solidor, Commandant of the Arcadian Empire's Western on... Your Excellency.
People of Rabanastre, Is it with hatred you look upon your consul? With hatred you look upon the Empire?
Spit on your empire! Straight back to Arcadia!
There was little point in asking. But know this, I harbor no idle hopes of frustrating that hatred. Nor shall I ask your fealty. That is the due of your fallen king, and rightly so. King Ramanas loved his people, strove to bring you peace. His was a rule worthy of your devotion. Even now, he remains among you, protecting you. His ardor for the peace and weal of Dalmasca falters not. I would ask only that you do your king honor. Together let us embrace the peace His Majesty would surely desire. 2 years now divide us from war's bitter end, yet still its shadow looms over all, stifling the infant peace a pall only you may cast off. Achieve but this one thing, and your hatred of me and of the Empire will grieve me not. I will stand fast. I will endure your hatred, suffer your slings and arrows. I will defend Dalmasca. Here I will pay my debt. I swear it now. Though King Ramanas and Lady Ash be gone, they stand ever at the side of their people. In honoring peace, you do honor to their memory and to Dalmasca. What I ask plain. My hopes now rest with you.
Is Rabanasta to your liking, my lord?
It is magnificent. Take this cathedral, for instance. Elegant, yet whimsical in its execution. A stunning example of Galtean architecture. I hope Lord Gramus might one day look upon it himself.
Oh, remember the last one? We're all like this.
The patron of this evening's banquet, may it please your excellency.
I am Miguelo, your highness. It is truly a profound honor to make the acquaintance of our future emperor, highness. The people of Rabanasta join me in welcoming you.
That's enough of highness. Though indeed I am our emperor's son, I am no prince. Arcadia's emperor is freely chosen by her people. I am but an elected official and nothing more.
I meant no disrespect.
Now that I think on it, I would not have you address me as Lord Consul, for that matter.
No?
Henceforth, I am a citizen of Rabanasta. Why don't you call me Vane?
I could not. That would not be right.
You are overly fond of formalities. I've just the remedy for that. Tonight you will join me, and we shall drink until you call me by name.
How can he stand about to him like that?
Fawn, you just do not get it, do you? He's not doing it because he wants to.
Lord Vane ever did have
You
a
know
sense
what
of
would happen if he didn't.
I know, it's just...
So, what would you do different?
I don't know. Well... I'd do something.
Vaughn. Vaughn, you haven't heard a single word I've said, have you? This place has changed so much. It's like it's not even Rabanasta anymore. Like the Empire is swallowing it whole.
Hey, Penel, that fete tonight. You think they'll let us in?
Are you crazy? It's in the palace, and we don't have an invitation if you hadn't noticed.
So, how are we getting in?
As if I'd know. Why not ask Miguelo to get you in? Or go see old Dallin in Lowtown? Why the sudden interest, Vaughn?
I told you, I'm going to take back what's ours. Give back to Dalmasca. Come on. What do you think? If I find something, and it fetches a good price, how about I buy you all dinner?
Oh, please. You know as well as I do the first thing you'd buy is an airship. All hail Vaughn, Sky Pirate of Dalmasca. It's got a nice ring to it. Stay out of trouble.
An airship. I don't know. Maybe. But not through Magello. Time to pay old Dallin a visit.
You are now free to enter Lowtown and leave Rabanastre. Alright, so we got a new location to check out, and where we spawn is right up there, which is close to Lowtown actually. We're not going to go down there quite yet, because before we do, I'd like to do a little bit of shopping and demonstrate some shops and all that stuff now that we got ourselves some loot that we can sell for good old cash. So, before we do that, actually no, while I do that, or, actually, hold on, I know what I can do, we actually should do this, first things first, since we're right by the Sand Sea and all that. Tamaj said, whenever before we went to go out and hunt that rogue tomato, is that, once we get ourselves our mark, and kill it, and do the job, we should head back to the patron, and get our reward. Funny story, my first playthrough, I did not do this, so I didn't hit the reward till like a little bit later. Anyway, Tomaj is... Tomaji-Poo, where are you, Tomaji-Poo? No, that's a barkeep. Tomaji-Poo is right here. Ah, Vaughn, defeated that rogue tomato, did you? I was worried you might not be ready just yet, but you did a fine job of it. Here, your bounty for completing the hunt. So by going and talking to Tamaj, we get ourselves 300 gil, 2 potions, and a teleport stone. You followed through on that hunt like a real professional. I'm going to let you in on a little something to help you along. Did you ever notice a Bonga standing watch in front of a building in the north end? It might be worth your time to pay him a visit. Show him the clan primer I gave you. He'll let you inside. As for what's there, you'll just have to go see for yourself. Clan primer. I think I went over this, right? Bestiary. I think the one thing I did not go over, actually, was the Sky Pirate's Den. As you travel in Evil East, the Sky Pirate's Den will slowly fill up with tokens commemorating various milestones and feasts of skill. Discovering how you unlock them is up to you. So right here is a little bit of an achievement system. We'll go over that whenever we go over it. I'm not going to worry about it right now, but I want to make sure to grab the reward from Tamaj. And speaking of that, what Tamaj had to say about the Bonga up in the north end, we'll focus on that at a later date. Don't worry. That whole thing will get its own episode one day. But what I want to do is I want to head down to the shops. We're not going to explore every single shop because some shops are more important to us right now than others. But I'll go over the ones that matter the most. Like, for example, first things first, the item shop. We can go inside Miguelo's Sundries, I believe that's what it's called. Yes, I have no life. Okay. I'm joking. I do have a life. I'm actually living my life right now. We have the shop clerk, and we can buy things like onion arrows and onion shots. Those are good for if you chose an archer class for Vaughn, or a gun class that uses guns. And we can get eye drops, which remove blind from one ally. I'm not going to purchase these right now. And we also get potions. We have 10 potions. I'm not in a hurry to sell potions. But what I do want to do before going on to our next shop, which is where I'm going to demonstrate selling loot and all that stuff, is Amal's weaponry. Now, before we go in, you may notice that, hey, we have a lot of license points built up. What do you say we fill out some nodes? Right now, all we have for weapons, in terms of weaponry, is a dagger for Vaughn, and I don't know why that made it sound like I was freaking depressed or something. Or I was disappointed. I'm so disappointed in you, Vaughn. No. Vaughn is not really proficient in daggers. So, I want to, first things first, I want to make sure he has at least a weapon he can actually, like, do really well in. So, let's get him a broadsword. I mean, I don't have a broadsword, but, we can get him one. There are multiple types of nodes that we'll find throughout while going through the board. Like, we see right here, for example, we have, accessories. These accessory nodes, they only give you accessories. Here we have a Technic node. That gives you the first aid ability if you have the ability. Heavy armor that lets you wear armor. I went over that before. Here we also have just random nodes that give you some extra buffs, like Inquisitor, which will allow me to gain MP after dealing damage. What I want to invest in next, though, we'll go over more of them as we see them. Here, ooh, we have an HP node. Costs 30 to do this, so by doing that, we get 70 extra HP. So these are HP nodes. They essentially give you extra health when you find them. And one thing I noticed about HP nodes is that they tend to be grouped together. So like, we have actually quite a bit of HP boosting right here. On my first playthrough, in terms of stories, I wasted all of my LP on health because I'm like, I used to have this thing of like, oh, when I have so much health, nothing can kill me. No. No matter how much health you have, if you don't have the defense to back it up, you're gonna die. But I've gotten better at it. As of the years have gone on. We don't have any more, enough LP to get anything else, but I mainly wanted to get swords and heavy armor 1 because we're going to the weaponry, not the armory. My bad. Hello, Mr. Amal. Special circumstances, they'll be closing tonight. Yeah, that doesn't matter. New to this game, because everyone could do everything in the original, they would only offer a certain amount of weapons, just like the broadsword and all that stuff, but like only like a couple of weapons, because everyone could do everything. In the Zodiac Age, it's not like that. They make sure to give you at least a good base weapon for every possible class you can get. Maybe not every single one, because some of them I guess like you can't really do too well in, or they specialize in other things. So not every class gets it, but 8 out of 12 classes get represented. So like the Knight, the Bushi, the Ulan, the Monk, the Archer, the Machinist, I think. The hand axe is and dagger for thief. But what I want is the broadsword. Hip hip hooray. There's not really too much of a difference, but you know, gotta be proficient in what you got. So, you know, yeah, there really isn't a difference. So, call it a waste of money or not. We can sell things like our old weapons, old armor. We can sell the Firefly, which would sell for a hefty thing, which, you know, if you don't care about XP, EXP, or if you don't want to lose EXP by doing this, well, you know, you can get free 800. But what you mainly want to sell is loot. And this isn't just to earn a hefty penny, no. There's technically a little bit of a crafting system involved with the loot. So I recommend you sell every single piece of loot you get as you go on. Oh no, the pebble sells for 2, except teleport stones. Teleport stones have a purpose. We'll go over it at a later date, but don't sell them. But because we sold, new bazaar goods are available, and depending on what you sell, you actually get some special items to go along with it. Like, for example, by selling certain things, we get the potion pack, which contains 2 potions, sure to be of use on your travels, or the unassuming surcoat, a simple surcoat stitched from choice pieces of leather. Not really good stuff, but as you go on, be sure to sell things, because that's how you make some big cash. You can buy new weapons, and you can even buy some special weapons depending on the loot you sell. And trust me, if you want some of the best weapons in the game, you're gonna have to find some very rare pieces of loot to sell, because then you can get it through the bazaar. Alright, next shop on our list, Panamis's Protectives. It's not the armory, it's the Protectives. What am I thinking? You can sell loot at every single shop, and The results are the shame. The shame? The results are a shame. No, the results are the I almost did it again. The results are the same. There we go. Interest you in a piece of armor? If there's ought to be your like, and I'll have it brought round. But don't dawdle. I have plans for the evening. Man, people going nuts. Because we purchased heavy armor 1, we can actually invest in a certain type of armor, which is like stuff like leather helm and leather armor. That's something we can invest our money in. Another thing they like to do is, if you can't equip a weapon because you don't have like the nodes fill out on your license board, don't worry, the game will let you know. Because, for example, let's say this light woven shirt, I can't wear it because my icon on the top right is grayed out. So because of that, I can't equip it. But for the leather helm and the leather armor, my icon's all bright and fuzzy. And it also tells you what benefits you get. Mainly armor will increase your defense, which is really good. But what helms like to do, or hats, they usually up your magic resistance. So, 2 different types of defenses. I normally try to just stick with, I tend to have armor as my primary, my priority at first, and I try to get the best thing someone could get at a certain point. But yeah, so at least now I'm a little bit buffer. I mean, I'm already more buff than I usually am in my other playthroughs, because I never get to level 4. I get close, but I never get to actual level 4 in the Esther Sand. I guess I was just getting really into it. Oh, how commentary can really change a person. I know these episodes are a lot more of like tutorial-esque, but that's just because there's just so much to cover. Don't worry. We're ending the tutorial-esque area part of the game. This is probably going to be the last big explanation I'm going to have for a while. Here's the magic shop. We can get many spells: Blindna, Cure, Fire, or Slow. I'm not going to really invest in any of these. I would recommend, if you're going to buy one, I'd say buy Cure. Although for the time being, you're not going to really need magic unless you choose a magic-based class. If you chose like black magic, then all you really have is fire. Time magic, you have slow, and then white magic, you get Cure and Blindna. Blindna cures blind. Cure heals, fire does fire damage, and slow slows a character, or slows an enemy. I'm just gonna buy Cure for the time being. I'll invest in what was I gonna say? Spells, except for a few exceptions, I don't really invest too much money in, at least early on. I mean, if you want to go full magic-based classes, then yeah, invest all your money into spells and all that stuff. But the magic shop, you'll mainly see me go to the protectives and the weaponry shops, because that's what I mainly focus in. We'll visit spells occasionally, but here, this is the last shop we're going to cover today, because there's another shop that we can check out, but we don't have a use for it quite yet, but we'll go over that when we go over that. Here is the Technic Shop. Here is where we can get like stuff like first aid and all that stuff. But for example, here we have the ability Libra, which is kind of like scan in like Kingdom Hearts and all that stuff. You know how it shows like the health and all that stuff? So it reveals more detailed target information. That's the only one we can buy right now, and my god, we can't afford it. I know money's going to be a little bit tight early on. That's going to happen, don't worry. I know good ways to make money later on. But that's all I got. And that just about covers every single shop I want to go over. There's more. There's definitely more we can explore. That's a shop right there, but we'll go over that later, like I said. Anyway, last thing we're going to do today is we're going to listen to Pinello's advice. That is not the way to Lowtown, no. What am I doing? Or we're going to listen to Vaughn's advice. We're not going to go through Miguelo to sneak into the fate. No, we are going to go see Old Dolan in Lowtown. And oh boy, is there something to talk about in Lowtown. Vaughn, did you go see the parade? Me? Are you kidding? Won't ever become a sky pirate when watching parades. Gotta keep training. Today we're trained to hunt treasure. I'm gonna hide, and you have to find me. I'll be somewhere down in the South Sprawl. Hop to it, mateys. Last one to find me is a buckethead. And then everyone disperses. Sure, it's tough being a sky pirate, but I guess it'll be worth it when I can fly all over anywhere I want. That'll be the day. But there's no rush in it. Slow and steady wins the race. That's what I say. Anyway, Lowtown is another part of Rabanastre. It's technically a whole separate area. And I think we've heard from one NPC that said, like, oh, they moved us all down below. This is what they meant. This is pretty much the poor people's place. This is where all the scrubs live. I almost said it, lift. This is where they live. This is where they get buff. No. This is where they all... the poor reside, really. There's a lot... there's, like, extra businesses. Like, there's an item shop down there. Right next to our destination. But, it's not really that important. It kind of just sells the same thing. In fact, I'll check it. One thing I like about Lowtown is the music. I really like the Lowtown music. I used to recommend... I'm not going to be like silent like I was with Esther Sand all the time. There'll be definitely a couple of occasions where I will be quiet. But I'll just say what the song name is if you're ever curious. And you can check it out. You're the onion bombs. Antidotes heal poison. I think I already mentioned that while we were out on the Esther Sand. Bombs. I think those are a weapon used by the Shikari, I believe. I want to say. Could be wrong. Oh, it didn't spawn. Okay, never mind. Alright, last thing we're going to do is we're going to go see Mr. Dahlin. Because apparently this is Old Dahlin's place. Actually, before we do, I believe Philo here. Arvon, here to see Old Dahlin. I'm just waiting for my friends, or mates, to show up. What's taking them so long? Philo and Kites. Two characters with names that arguably don't have too big of a purpose. But if you're playing the original game, they are important characters in Final Fantasy XII sequel, Revenant Wings. Which, I mean, I own Revenant Wings. It's alright. It's not my favorite, but it's fine. It does continue the story pretty well. I haven't finished it. Well, enough about talking about sequels and all that stuff. That could be saved for a different day. Let's go to Old Dahlin's place.
If it isn't Von Ratsbane. Come for a tip on how to secure something bigger and in armor by the East Gate?
What? You already heard about that?
Wise I may not be, but well informed I am.
They'll get what's coming to them someday, believe me. But that's not why I'm here.
Do tell.
I want to know how to sneak into the palace. They've got to have some great stuff in there. Thought I'd partake.
Not one to mince words, are you, boy? The Empire protects all that's hers, and that means the palace and all the treasures inside.
That's why I'm gonna do it. To take back what's ours.
So, our champion of the sewers aspires to noble action. Admirable. Perhaps I can help you. Now that I think on it, there was a rumor. Yes, a secret passageway into the palace walls. A door and a magic stone that opens the way.
That's it. This is exactly why I came to talk to you first, Alan. So, where's this, magic stone?
Oh, I've had it for years, if I can remember where I've tucked it away.
And take a sip because of what I'm about to do. Oh my god. Whew. That went down weird. Anyway, I've heard all I need. So this crescent stone, can I have it? Then I can find that secret passage into the palace, right? Not much of a listener, are you? The crescent stone has lost its magics. Without the power of a sunstone, it will be of little use. Right, so where can I get one of these sunstones? You seek Giza Plains. Speak with the nomads there. You will find your sunstone. Leave by the south gate and continue south. Their village is not far. There are like to be beasts on the plains, so be careful, my boy. You don't have to worry about me. I'll be back before you know it. I like Old Dolan. He's one of my favorite minor characters in the story. He's got a nice little voice and he's whack. He's a little bit whack. He's smoking out of that pipe. I'm pretty sure there's a joke in there somewhere, but I'm not going to make it. Let's see. Giza Plains. Hangar right there. And I'm practically at the south gate. This will be easy. Oh boy, it spawned. Okay. Okay. We need to talk. We need to talk about this. So, when you're watching a playthrough on the internet, you might be following along, whether it be the original or Zodiac Age. I recommend if you're following along with my playthrough, you follow through with the Zodiac Age version. But just for you guys, if you're just playing on the original PS2 version, let me tell you something. There is a weapon in this game that is super powerful. I believe it used to be the most powerful weapon in the original game, or at least if it's certain weapon type, the Zodiac Spear. And the way you can get it in the original game was so specific, if you were not aware of it, you would not get it. And that involved avoiding your greed. There are a couple of chests in the entire game that you do not want to open if you are playing the original game. In Zodiac Age, they fixed this so it's not bounded like this. So for this chest, for example, this is one chest. If it spawns in the original PS2 version, you do not want to open under any circumstance, or else you lose out on getting the special weapon. You get a pinch of Echo Herbs. Those heal Silence, I believe, which Silence is a status that does not allow you to use spells. Could be kind of bad in certain situations. So yeah, there are more areas that have chests that you do not want to open at all. To be frank, a few of them are few and far in between, and there's a couple. 2 of them are here within Rabanastre. We'll see the second one soon enough, but there's the first one. And then after that, there's one more location filled with a certain chest that you do not want to open. And I'll make sure to remind you of when that is, so that way, if you're following along on the PS2 version, you won't have to miss out on the Zodiac Spear. But in Zodiac Age, you don't have to worry about that. So pick chests to your heart's content. Anyway, here we have a shortcut through the south gate, or to the south gate, that we don't have to. I mean, we don't have to use, but we can use anyway because we're savages, bro. We're savage. And yeah. Now here we have an orange save crystal, a Rabanastre crystal. If it's blue, okay, here's another thing I have to talk about. Crystals, save crystals. If they are blue, they can heal you, and they allow you to save your game, and that's about it. They're pretty common. In each major area of the game, pretty much every location, has a orange crystal, which is a teleport crystal. These allow you to save your game, heal, and teleport, which is what teleport stones are for. If I were to give an example of where we can find teleport crystals, there is one in the Dalmasca Ester Sand. If we had it in our possession, and we got it down, we would be able to teleport there anytime we want. We won't be getting that one till much later in the game, because it's just kind of out of the way, so we'll worry about that when we worry about that. But that's gonna do it for today. We saw the new Lord Consul, Vane, enter here in Rabanastre and assume office. We saw his inauguration speech pretty much, which, you know, props to the man. I mean, we don't know him too much. He's got kind of a sinister look to him, but I'm sure he's fine. And we decided we're gonna do something about this. We don't like the Empire. Good job, Koopa Quick. You're playing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I'm proud of you, buddy. So yeah. And now, with the help of Old Dawn, we now know what we gotta do to get in, which is we need to get a Sunstone to power up the Magic Stone, as he says. And next time on Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Age, we're gonna be heading out into the Giza Plains to do such a thing. See you guys then.